Goddamn right he is. Oh, we're live. Let's stop talking about Tom Brady. Welcome to the best hour of your day. Your day is very, very mediocre. This is the Eric and Rodney show with Robin, with special guest star. Hold on, I'm going to get your title right. Award-winning enterprise technology software. Nope, solutions expert. Is that right?
Close enough. Yes.
Before we get into the technological awards that you've won here on the Eric and Rodney show with Robin, we cover the news because we're qualified to do such things, and people care about our opinions.
That's right.
Some people.
Robin,
welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Listen, we're glad to have you. Robin, what do we got in the news today that we're going to talk about? Make hilarious.
All right. Our first story of the day: white-collar workers are uniting and protesting the return to office policies. So they are complaining that there is nothing to gain from removing the flexibility of their work, which was implemented by the pandemic. So some people oppose work from home, some people praise it. What is your stance on this issue? I want to ask Melissa first.
Okay.
I was a big advocate at first from working from home because I worked at a technology solutions company. So that's what we've been trying to sell, right? We can do our jobs from home. We have the technology to do so. Buy it from me, right? Then we went home, and then it was horrible. I could not focus. I couldn't separate home and work. I couldn't I didn't have a shut off day. Yeah. But now I'm back at work in the office, and I freaking hate it. I hate it. I understand the camaraderie and the collaboration, be in proximity of everything, but I don't like it. I get it. Productivity, as long as they can prove productivity didn't suffer, then I don't understand, and plus, recruiters can pick and pull from a bigger pond, right? So they can go after employees that have, the expertise they're looking for and not necessarily have to be in the geographical area of the company. Yep. So I think everybody suffers that way.
That's why I think it's short-sighted, these companies that are forcing people back into the office, because the better employees, you would assume, want flexibility, right? And then you get that if you don't force them to come to the office. The thing I will say about working from home during the pandemic when we were all forced to, that's where I developed my light drinking problem, because the only thing that separated the day was sober home time and drunk home time. So that was a problem. Then I went back to the office and I was like, I never want to do it. But then we gave up our office, and now the bathroom's always clean. I have no commute. I don't have to wear pants. There's a lot of pluses. I'm lonely.
More people got divorced during the pandemic than ever because they were spending more time together. Some people need that separation from their home. Me included. I got divorced during COVID too. So
this finds its way into every conversation. But did you know in the Philippines divorce is illegal?
I feel like everywhere marriage should be illegal, but that's just me.
You think marriage should be illegal across the board?
Absolutely. Why would we have a contract that just because of I loved you one time that you get half my money?
Right. Because
more so on the real estate side, though. The real estate side is what pisses me off the most. So.
Well, exactly. Like marriage as a concept is not a bad idea. The government getting involved in marriage is a terrible idea.
Thank you.
The government getting involved in anything is a terrible idea. Right?
Yeah.
Robin, do you work from home?
I do.
You're working from a hotel right now.
It looks like he's working from the lobby right before he heads in for his first class. I think everyone should work from home.
Yeah?
Just in case anyone cares.
This might be a first, but I actually never had a job at an office. I've always worked from home. Yeah.
You're a very young man, though. How old are you?
25.
No, you haven't been crushed by title rules yet.
You say 25 or 35?
35.
25. 25.
He's 42.
He looks 25.
Rodney, you don't think people should go to offices? Is that where you're at?
I think here's what I think, honestly, right? And I've always been this way, and I've ran my organizations this way. You either get the work done and you stay, or you don't get the work done, and we wish you well.
Mm-hmm. Probably all the shitty things he said about
point, yeah.
He's in witness protection.
You know what the dictator is looking for.
Well, I'm not
Robin's been very
right
critical
now.
of the dictator.
I took a week away from the Philippines just to get away.
Where
so he's headed to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, yeah. Although don't give
100%.
the location, man, please.
Yep.
Going to countries that I can't speak the language scares me.
Yeah.
Scares me.
I
So,
agree.
I think the good news is though everyone speaks English, and that's a dumb thing to say, but it's true. Like we haven't. So I heard this TED talk about how Americans don't speak any other language. We don't have to. Everyone speaks
That's right.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
find too that
Americans
people.
also, what's the percentage of Americans that have passports who's going to need another language anyway?
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I also heard something that defended that because I was very pro, like we're idiots. We don't go anywhere. We don't have passports. But then this dude was like, you have 2 weeks of vacation a year. When the hell are you going to go anywhere? Right. So it's really, I think it's right. I mean, you got to
That's
use
true.
some of those days because your kid has a dance recital or some shit. Like how are you going to go to Hong
Or you're
Kong?
hungover.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna
About
by the time
5
you get
days
there,
of hangovers, a
come
couple
home.
of kids, and how are you going to go to Hong Kong with 2 weeks vacation? You can't.
Right.
It's impossible.
The best
Um,
thing ever was PTO, right? Because you used to have
Mhm.
dedicated sick days and vacation, and you have to come with so many lies about why you're sick. And doctors know. And now you can just take PTO, so it doesn't really matter. You don't have to
We
explain
had,
yourself.
we had a client one time, not to get on a tangent, but we had a client one time who they were a tech company in California, and they went with a PO, and I forget the PO, doesn't matter. Anyway, they gave unlimited PTO.
Yeah.
And they gave this person, like, that's part of the policy. And they gave, a lot of companies do it. And they gave this person, he was like head of programming or some whatever.
Mhm.
I think he worked a week and a half and he took off. And it was like 2 years. He was literally, and they were paid.
Well,
And
tech
there was-
companies will do that to you.
And there was
so.
nothing, there was literally nothing they could do. He hadn't checked in, checked his email.
Wow.
They weren't even sure he was still alive. I think he finally got resolved, but I was like, this guy is living in the year 3000.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I know HubSpot did unlimited PTO. My wife's company does unlimited PTO, but studies have shown that you take less time when you have unlimited time because you feel
Mhm.
guilty about it, which is fucking crazy. White people have to be stopped.
I would never feel guilty.
It's bizarre.
You give me a rope, I'm gonna run with it. So
No shit, right? Every Friday. You mean every Friday?
We like-
Monday off? Oh, tremendous.
right.
Well,
I can find better things
That's
to do.
true.
Mhm.
my take on it is that if employers give their employees the feeling that they have good benefits inside the company, it's their duty to work for it and to give back to that company. So like,
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why that they won't abuse the
Well,
employers' benefits.
And
That's
if you're
because
in
you're 25.
sales, if you're in sales like I am, you won't have a real vacation, right? Because you have to
Right.
answer your phone, no matter what it is, because that's
Right.
money that's
Mhm.
that you're going to miss if you don't answer it. So I think after 21 years at the same company, I think I had like 5 weeks of vacation, but I never really got to take it because I'd go on vacation, but then I'd end up having to work. So
You're
There's
tethered.
Yeah, it never ends.
mhm.
All right, Robin. I think we ran that into the ground. We get another one.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the CDC says that the birth level has leveled off in 2022. So experts are suggesting that there is going to be a major slowdown in the birth rates, and it will pose a major threat on the economy in the next coming 10 years. So only less than 4 million births happened last year, and this means that there's going to be much more tight labor markets unless technology somehow steps in, which is surprising to me because I had a feeling that with the whole pandemic thing, we'd actually have a baby boom because everyone's at home. And
No, we hated our spouses. Remember, we were getting
Right.
divorced. We weren't.
Everyone was
You're
everyone was
sleeping in
divorcing.
different
Yeah,
rooms.
Here's the thing that annoys me. This is another one of those stories where growing up, all I heard is that there was an overpopulation. We were going to not have
Right.
resources. We were going to run out of vegetables and we're all going to die. Now, all of a sudden, there's not enough humans, right? Then they go, oh, shit, that's going to affect the labor market. But then all I hear about the labor market is that AI's taking over and there's going to be no fucking jobs. So, God damn it, fearmongers, pick a side. You
Well,
can't.
apparently now we have enough vegetables.
Right now, we have too
That's
many
the-
vegetables
that's
because
the plus
the
side.
AI, the robots, ChatGPT doesn't eat vegetables.
I mean,
we have toilet paper again now. So
We have plenty of
That's
toilet
true.
paper, thank God. But you know
But,
what I mean? Like, how can it constantly be both sides of the argument are awful things that are going to end humanity? It just can't possibly be, can it?
that's true.
right.
how's
So,
technology going to solve it, though? I guess.
that's a good question.
Robot babies. That's the
Well,
only answer.
mm.
Robot babies.
LinkedIn dating.
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Yeah. I can't wait. Thank you for acknowledging my finest video content.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now you don't have to have, now you don't have to have two people to have a baby anymore, right? That's how technology solves.
You just need two robots.
You don't even need a person anymore, apparently. Sometimes.
If you get one guy in a room, you can have 500 babies from that one thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's
the other thing about people not having babies, and I don't want to interrupt, but babies are very expensive. Like all the things about millennials having less, they're the first generation to have less than their parents. Now you go, hey, how about you have a fucking baby that you're going to spend $2,000 a month on daycare? You got to feed this goddamn thing. Then you have to send it to college.
Forever.
Having children is cost prohibitive. And I don't think anybody mentioned this in this article, which bothers me.
Weren't they giving away free tuition for college?
Who?
or offering it out?
Yeah, or they were waiving I don't know what's going on. I think that got voted down.
Yeah. Kids are expensive, and they're more expensive the older they get. So
in half the time they suck. Like
know what I mean? New generations care more about themselves than anything anyway.
Yeah.
So they're not going to spend their hard-earned entrepreneur money on a baby.
Right. I do think to Jennifer's point, I think there was a baby. I think there was, but evidently it wasn't good enough. We didn't bang enough.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
society.
It was probably early, and it's cool. I can stay home. And
well, here's the difference between the pandemic baby boom and the actual baby boom. The actual baby boom came at a time where people had jobs, their wife was at home,
stable,
everything was fine, it was cool. People are having sex just because they couldn't go outside, because if they did, they'd die, which is a less sexy environment to be banging in, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But apparently, so the only continent in the world that is still steadily having like a very increasing birth rate is Africa.
Can I tell you my theory on this?
I'm scared.
I think the reason there were a lot of humans for a little while, right? So my mother, for example, is one of 11. I think it used to be normal to have a bunch of kids because you needed farm hands, and half of them were going to die.
Absolutely.
All right. So for generations, we kept having a shit ton of children, knowing that there was some breakage involved, that you were going to lose, 70 to 80% of them. And all of a sudden, modern medicine came around, and holy shit, all 11 lived. We're like, fuck, we got to stop having 11 kids.
Everyone's alive.
Yeah, everyone's alive, and it's a huge problem. And there's no farm. I don't know what they're going to do. So I think,
and God forbid you had women because there's a dowry. Remember all that?
Yeah. So exactly, you married them off. You get all your goats are
and
gone.
then you have to pay somebody to take them off your hands.
Yeah, it was a goddamn disaster. And I think in these developing countries.
Imagine if Terrence from the other day had $5. He has a few dollars. We had a guy.
He has enough guitars for all of them. So.
Oh my God!
It's hard dowry.
So, funny story, but on my father's side, I have 7 uncles. And the reason why there's so many of them is because my grandfather really wanted a daughter, and it just never happened. So like time after time again, they're like, "Ah, fuck, it's another boy."
So they never stopped trying. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why Robin is so driven. He's learned never stop trying at anything.
The thought of having a baby makes me physically ill at this point in my life. So there's no way. I have 2 beautiful daughters, and they're 22 and 18. I couldn't imagine having more than that. I didn't expect those 2, much less more. There's no way. And I have a farm, and I still didn't need a lot of kids. So
wait, you have a farm?
Mm-hmm.
You have a farm and 4 boats.
Yes.
I can't wait for the interview portion of this show.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Shit. Out there winning awards for shit and get boats and farms. What else do you have? Oh, save it. We're not done with the news. And thank you. You're right. Listen, that's a great theory, I think. And all these developing countries.
It is a reasonable theory.
Yeah, like India, still, I think they have a lot of kids, right? Like developing nations haven't caught up to the idea. I mean, it took
Elon's having a lot of kids too.
What's that?
Elon's having a lot of kids.
Elon, yeah. And so is Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They can't stop shitting out kids.
Yeah, they won't stop it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, good for them. Robin, in the Philippines, what's the birth situation? You guys still having the kids over there?
We are. So yeah, Philippines is also an exception. It's rising. And your theory actually comes into play here is because the baby boomer generation in the Philippines. So Philippines was heavily relied on the agricultural sector. So they kept having more kids because they expected the kids to help around in the farms. Yeah. So your theory actually stands here. Well,
the kids used to be useful. Now they're just leeches. You know what I mean? Like the work. They contribute to the household. I don't know what my son stares at an iPad for 8 hours a day. Well, what am I getting out of it? Certainly not.
He's working on a project.
Any more theories on birth rates? Is anybody? I just think I don't think we need more humans. That's the other thing. If there's a decrease in population, I don't think it's a bad thing. Oh, what about a mission?
So you think we're overpopulated?
What's that?
You think we're overpopulated?
I think we are when it comes to kids.
Yeah, well, my entire life, they're
everywhere.
What's the other thing? Like in my personal experience, kids seem to be fucking everywhere. So it doesn't seem like we're less populated,
They're
but
in restaurants, shopping.
TikTok,
there's this one person that really advocates that we are very underpopulated.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Is that a question? Yeah, Elon Musk is big on this. That's why he keeps having all these goddamn children.
Well, they say, if your surroundings are favorable, you will procreate. If your surroundings are unfavorable, you survive, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that plays into us growing up being told that there's too many humans and that there's not enough shit. And then we internalize that and go, well, why would I add more humans to this thing you're telling me is being destroyed? And then they're like, what are you doing? You're not having enough kids.
And also, Robin, I have a question for you. If you have kids and you can't afford them in America, the government gives you free money. So is that the same thing?
I gotta get some of that free money.
Why is there a population birth problem? What's going on?
Right.
I can get paid damn children. That's great.
How do I get some of that kid money? No one's ever giving me shit. I gotta pay for these little assholes.
I know I have to pay for everything.
Son of a bitch. I don't know.
It's because you make money. That's why.
Ugh. Well, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna have more kids. I'm gonna solve this problem.
Yeah.
Eric single-handedly is going to take on the challenge.
Me and Nick Cannon are gonna go.
He is working.
Wow.
You, Nick, and Elon are going to take us forward.
And Al Pacino. All right. What else do we got there?
Okay. Since we're already on the topic of Elon Musk, so Twitter's trust chief, Al Irwin, has resigned. And there's no clear statement as to why she left, but a lot of people are speculating that it's because Twitter and Elon Musk's approach to content moderation, and it's gotten a lot looser. Mm-hmm. So they're saying that we lack protection against harmful content. So a question I have for everyone: are you guys in favor of free, unregulated content, or do you think that things were better when social media was heavily moderated?
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Please do.
What is a trust chief? Is this what you're saying?
Trust and safety chief was her title.
I mean, are they just making up titles at this point? What is that? I've never even heard of such a thing.
It's like sales wizard or SEO ninja. It's one of those fucking bullshit.
It's so stupid. All right, I'm sorry, but it sounded like it might have been a real job.
But it is.
But it's not, right? I think everyone should have free speech. That's my swing. I'm sorry. Let's go on.
I think free speech is fine. I just think profitability is better. So they're down their value is down 55% because they cater to right-wing lunatics, which is like, listen, it's your company, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But Christian movies fail. Christian rock doesn't sell as well. You know what I mean? Like,
are you insinuating that Kirk Cameron is still not a star? Please.
The only time he was a star is when he was on TV doing non-Christian shit. So I just don't understand if you own a company. Oh, remember when Trump got kicked off Twitter, they decided to make a right-wing social platform and nobody was on it at any point? Like, you're catering to a very strange base that doesn't make you money. You're down 55%. Start censoring again.
Talking about Twitter, I would say there's two groups of Twitter, right?
Oh, look at this.
I see. Okay, so that's a real job. I had no idea. I'm sorry.
It is.
I think with Twitter, there's two groups. I think there's the nut jobs, right?
Yeah.
Then I think there's three. There's the nut jobs. There's the people complaining about everything.
Yeah.
And then there's Elon and his fan base.
Right.
That's it.
No, I'm serious. That's it, right? Like, I mean, I'm on Twitter, and that's literally like, if he can tweet anything, and there's like 15 million comments, and people are like, he's spoken. What's happened? It's like Kanye, right?
Yeah.
There's accounts that literally, like, Kanye will go to the grocery store to get a Haagen-Dazs, and they're like, what does this mean? Right. What is he doing? He's looking for a snack, guys.
You're right next about Haagen-Dazs. Yeah, I get it.
This chick was in charge for 7 months and couldn't handle it. Like, that's how, you know what I mean? It ain't good, man.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the thing about free speech too, is like left-wing propaganda. Like, what are you going to get? A cleaner planet? If you let right-wing propaganda, you get mass shootings. Like, this is the truth. Like, you know what I mean? So why you're going to cater to this base makes no fucking sense.
Here's my problem: is Twitter's a business.
Right.
You can choose to be a part of it or not. That's their out, right? Like they can make up their own rules. People choose to use Twitter, right?
Oh,
so you right there understand what you're risking and what's involved with that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like somebody tells you, "Hey, you shouldn't come and do a social media show," right? Because what you said offended me. Like, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Which is
Close
nice.
your eyes.
What's that?
Close your eyes.
Yeah. Turn away.
I think you should do whatever you want, but when your sponsors start leaving and you've lost 55% of the value of the company that you just paid billions for, you got to go, all right, maybe you should censor some shit.
Yeah.
Or not. I mean, again, it's his company, but geez, I would much rather Pepsi give me money than some hillbilly say some racist shit. All things being considered, right? But then add millions of dollars to Pepsi's, that's much better.
I think you're discounting though, right? Hold on. I think you're discounting the MyPillow guy.
I think you should have a test. I think you should have to take a test before you are allowed to speak in the social platform. And that test will determine if you are capable, mentally stable, or you're an idiot, right?
That test should also be administered if you're going to have a child.
And there should be a warning,
or a driver's license.
Yeah.
There should be a warning at the bottom. This is coming from a stupid.
Yeah.
A stupid.
And she come with a shirt that says "I'm with stupid." You can give it to your significant other who's also stupid.
I like how we're all in favor of a totalitarian government to solve the Twitter problem. I'm for it. Robin knows all about this, don't you?
I do. I prefer not to speak on it now because I did have to flee to Hong Kong.
Oh no!
There's plenty of other countries you can flee to. After this, go to Portugal or some shit. You're on the run now, baby.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Portugal, drugs are legal, so
That's every single drug is legal.
So whatever happened to that guy that leaked the news about how the government is like reading all your conversations? The guy that fled to Russia or something. What happened to him?
Isn't that a good question?
He's on the run. Is he in Russia?
Yeah, I think he pops up every once in a while and posts a blog. And he'll be like, "Hey guys, here's such and such," right?
But he's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that he's dead. So
That's true.
Right.
The government's not listening. Here's the other thing. It's narcissism on the individual American's part. The government doesn't give a shit about 99% of us. They only listen to the good
I
stuff.
agree.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You think they're listening to this right now? Of course not.
But if it's to protect us, why not? How about this? Like, don't be scared if you're not doing anything to get in trouble for.
Right.
That's right, Robin.
Right. We want it both ways because when they listen, they're like, "Well, you're listening." But when there's a school shooting and there's warning signs and they didn't stop it, they go, "Why didn't you stop
Right.
it? Like, what do you want from us?"
No, I agree 100%. Yeah. I'm not building bombs or looking to build bombs or doing any terrorist thing. So
Granted,
by all means, listen to what you want to hear.
Look at this. Mom, she's like a fact checker extraordinaire. Snow degree.
yeah, she's amazing.
Thank you,
Jenny. He was granted residency in Russia, so I wonder how that's working out.
Okay. Well, I mean, does America still consider him a criminal? At least the government, probably.
Yeah, I think we're still looking for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is anybody in Russia considered a criminal at this point?
Yeah,
I don't know if Joe Biden's looking for him. I think Joe's recovering after the spill he took.
Yeah.
Is Joe Biden still alive?
We're not doing it. He's in Russia.
Has anyone let him know yet he's running? So somebody said that on the show one day, and I lost it.
Dude, I was on a boat this weekend, and they had both flags flying. They had a Biden flag and a Trump flag on the same boat.
I think that's nice.
Oh,
He's bipartisan.
Oh, okay. Is that what you call that?
He's either bipartisan or bipolar.
I mean, a house divided. I mean, that takes it a little too far, right? A house divided. So, like,
you know what's funny? Not to get off tangent, or get off topic, but everybody was like, "Can you guys believe it? Can you guys believe that they passed the debt ceiling?" I mean, that's the only thing they've had to do in the last 2 or 3 years. What else have they been doing?
They had to vote on one thing. They did it. Congratulations.
They had to vote on raising the limit of how much money they can spend, and it's craziness. They're like, they got it done.
This is the thing.
Russia. There's no criminals in Russia. See,
No, and there's no homosexuals here. That's illegal in Russia, and we're gonna get the pride stuff, which I can't wait for. But this is the other thing that bothers me. So I live in a town called Shirley, and there's a prison. And people are like, "Oh, aren't you scared?" But here's the thing: if somebody escapes prison, it's not like the first thing they're gonna do is go commit another crime. They want to get the fuck out of there, right? But everybody, the same thing with Snowden. Okay, he's not going to do the same crime. So those 27 nations don't have anything to worry about. He's not going to steal information again. He's already on the run.
Before a couple of those nations probably didn't even have internet.
No, exactly. Like Zambia is like, no, Snowden. Like, what am I going to do here?
I'm not sure if it was Ted Bundy or the Nightcrawler, but like one of them escaped and then the first thing he did was commit more crimes. So
your argument is you don't think he rented a hotel room first? I'm just saying, I think there's a couple of.
But here's the thing that Eric makes a valid point on, right? I don't think the person's going to look to commit a crime right next door to the prison. Right? Like move along a little bit.
Like the first thing on the mind, I gotta create a new crime. I've been held up for too long. I gotta go commit another crime.
That's right. Like I want to get out of this town. Let's get to the next one and start murdering people.
Yeah. Snowden shows up to Russia. He's like, how the fuck are you gonna start stealing more information? I don't know.
All right, we're gonna fix the elections this time.
Yeah. I feel like Russia just let him in to piss off the states.
I agree with you.
I agree with that. 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, what do we get next? I like. Oh, we have my favorite topics.
I'm not surprised. Okay, so the next topic is corporate America is being challenged to demonstrate genuine allyship with LGBT and Pride Month. So Pride Month just started, and this is now following the recent controversies with, the disaster with Bud Light and Target. Yeah. But there are a lot of brands such as Levi's and Adidas that stated that it will feature many gay and transgender models in their new campaign.
Well, you saw what it did for Bud Light. That's all I gotta say.
Bud Light went a bit too far.
Yeah.
I also think it's nice that Folgers says it's cool if you're gay, you can drink our shitty coffee. It's so demeaning.
Folgers needs to get off the air.
Here's the crazy thing, right? Is who is drinking Folgers?
That's what I said.
Right?
Why are these
certainly not the gays? But I don't like that corporations are doing this. It's like me going, Robin, it's okay that you're Filipino. You're allowed on the show. No, it's just such a shitty, why are you acknowledging? It's like, oh, you're black. I get it. It's fine. We can still be friends. Like, you're gay and you can use our shit. You can buy a Prius. Like, fuck off. Why? And this is the other thing. Why are we so obsessed with people who people have sex with? It's very
why are we still talking about
it?
I don't get it.
It's endlessly fascinating. Oh, okay. So they're okay with homosexual sex. Where are these brands on threesomes? Like, where do they stop? Like, are they allowed? We don't know.
Right.
When is it taboo?
Very bizarre.
Yeah. I mean,
they need to stay out of our bedrooms.
Sex. Exactly.
Get out of my bedroom.
I agree.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people should just grow up. I mean, like, so many people are in denial that at least 10% of the world population is homosexual. Like, grow up. It's a fact.
Exactly. And be and let be, right? If it doesn't directly affect you in your life, then why are you worried about it? Why are we talking about it?
Honestly, though, sometimes it does affect me. I got hit on by a gay guy once, and it was the best 10 minutes of my life. Like, it was like being a hot chick.
I agree.
And it was the best hour of your life.
Pretending he was interested in what I was saying. It was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me. If he was on
the probably told you how to fix your hair like that too.
What's that?
He probably told you how to fix your hair too.
Yeah, a lot of people think, I come across as gay because I do my hair, but I'm like, no gay guy would ever do this. This is not, you know what I mean? Like, this is not, I look like an idiot.
I think it looks great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So did that one gay guy that one time.
I did too.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, thanks, guys.
We're big fans of it, actually. I don't know if we've told you lately, but we like your hair.
Yeah, it's Eric Wright.
Everybody on this show has good hair, actually.
No, this is great.
We wouldn't know because Robin's wearing his Tommy Hilfiger hat.
Normally he has great
hair. He's got class in an hour, so.
I don't know why you're covering that. How is Tommy?
He's going to color it blonde in an hour.
I'm still hiding. They could.
When he heads to the next stop.
Robin said right before we got on the air, there was a group of 30 naked white people outside the hotel.
Where?
Yeah, you guys just missed it. It was like 10 minutes ago.
I don't know. Else still make the show.
I'm surprised you didn't join in.
You should have done some live correspondence work. Take my AirPod. Tell us what's going on. We're reporting live from LinkedIn Live.
Yeah. This story also parlays into the Fox News story about the drag queens, which is another thing that I just can't get enough of. I love every second of this.
I
Yeah.
love my gay people. I love them. I mean, why are they more fun? Can I say that? Can I ask that question? Why are they more, I guess they're like,
Drag queens?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's
so,
the story
I mean,
now?
the
It's
next,
with Fox News?
Yeah,
yeah, so the next
before we
story
move
is
on,
from
we
Fox.
do have to address this. Yes, he's wearing the Yankee shirt again.
Yes.
Dang.
That's exactly right. We thought he had a Yankees hat on because he didn't even know he had a Yankees jacket on. Jersey on, sorry, whatever he's wearing.
Is it really?
Yeah, I never knew it was a baseball team.
Oh, God.
He's never seen a TV. Had no idea. Go on, Rodney. Go on. Never heard of the Yankees.
Hey, the Yankees playing the Red Sox not in like a couple weeks.
No,
That's right.
we suck. We are terrible. The Red Sox, that is.
I feel like we are too. So who knows?
It's okay. It's still Fenway Park, and it's still Yankees and Red Sox, right?
That's all that matters.
Still feels like something. Feels important.
I'm a huge Red Sox fan, so.
Oh,
Robin's a Yankees fan, and so am I. So.
Robin, name your favorite Yankee. Go.
All of them.
All of them.
Right?
Celebrate the entire catalog.
So
what's your favorite Bible verse? All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good.
So to give some context, like the Yankees jacket and the other baseball shirt I had came from my dad, which is very ironic because my father says he absolutely hates America, but he's just so fascinated with American culture.
Really?
Favorite music.
So maybe he hates
music,
America, but
clothing.
not American culture.
Right. Why does he hate him? Is it because of the occupation? I'm sorry.
No, my father is Dutch, so there you go.
Fucking hell, man.
Do the Dutch all hate America?
Especially when Trump became president, so that was kind of like a big turning point. But
your father might hate America, but you know what he loves? Filipino women. Am I right?
My mother.
Right. Real quick before we move on to the drag queens in totality, has Robin heard of this? So Melissa's favorite cheese, which we found out during the other show, cream cheese, right?
Yes.
Robin has never had cream cheese.
What the?
Nope.
I know.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know what to do with himself.
What?
The Dutch sold Manhattan for $24.
That's true. Yeah, I read that somewhere.
But that
is true. So a lot of people don't know this, but New York was originally named New Amsterdam, and then the Dutch made a stupid trade agreement that they traded it for some small group of islands that had like spices, and then now that's the biggest regret of the Dutch.
People used to love spices. Spices
they had no vision.
Yeah,
I like the Spice Girls, not Spice.
I played bar trivia last night, and they had the audacity in a question to ask which Spice Girl Emma Bunton was. Like,
That's
come on,
hilarious.
come on, what a stupid! Everybody knows that.
I don't know who that is.
And some beads.
$24 and some beads.
And some beads. $24 and some beads. That's right.
Don't forget the beads.
Yes.
Yeah, but with inflation, that's like $124 in beads. So worth it.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, so drag queens. Here's the thing. People think. All right, did you watch the clip on the article that you sent from Fox News?
I did. It was
fucking hilarious. That might be the best thing I've ever seen on TV.
Oh my gosh, I have to check that out.
So the Navy evidently is using drag queens to recruit for the military, for the Navy specifically. And people are up in arms about this. But listen, in all respect to the military, I'm a military brat. Lived on military bases for 18 years. My father's a retired colonel. I think Fox is underestimating how gay the Navy is. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
uniforms
that's been a joke forever, right? That's been a joke forever.
Well, these men are signing up to go on boats full of other men for a year at a time. That's not something you do if, chicks are your highest priority.
Down Periscope has a new meaning, apparently.
I just have a question. Was Fox News just covering the important stuff these days? Wouldn't they do a UFO story and now they're doing
drag queen
on Fox?
Yeah.
Creepers.
And their point is that like recruitment is way down, and at least the Navy's trying something,
That's true.
I think they should recruit people by giving away jet skis.
I agree. I'll sign up for that.
Do you like being in the water as a jet ski? Hop in the submarine.
Absolutely.
It's like Chris Rock One of the specials, Bigger and Blacker or Bring the Pain. In the early 2000s, the big thing was like gays in the military. He's like, fucking let them serve. I'm not signing up. Who gives a shit? Like, if you want to go kill people, go do it. I don't care your sexual orientation, as long as I don't have.
Right. If you can aim and shoot a gun, by all means.
Did the Village People sing a song about being in the Navy? I think it's a very thinly veiled thing, right?
Yeah.
Is there a song called In the Navy?
Yeah. If the Marines did this, you go, okay, that's a little off-brand. That's Bud Light trying to do it. But the Navy. Little adorable sailors. Come on.
They're gonna have to change their colors. They're missing a couple for that rainbow. So.
Right. Very, very monotone, which is why you need the drag element. You need a little smoky eye makeup.
Right.
Robin, is your Navy gay?
You guys have a Navy? Right. Robin, do you have a Navy?
We do. It's very tiny though.
Mm.
And we're always in disputes with
It's
China.
6 people in a rowboat.
Yeah.
That's true. And the Chinese Navy keeps bullying us, putting all their artificial islands in the middle of the ocean.
You know what you need to do is you need to get all the lady boys together and put them on a boat. New Navy. Think about that?
Yeah.
And put them in a dress, and it'd be like the American Navy. So
Exactly. They go.
Yeah.
The show's
But
gonna get.
honestly, I'm not too worried about the Chinese taking over the Philippines because we have the most powerful ally in the world.
Yeah. Although your father does not like us.
That's
Yeah,
right. So if your father doesn't like, you said your father's got to say he likes us, so we're not doing anything. We can't help you.
right.
Go back to Dutchland.
So, also interesting fact: Philippines was the most strategic location for the Americans during the Vietnam War. That's why,
makes sense.
So we had like the biggest U.S. air and Navy base was in the Philippines for a long time, and it's still there.
We tied that war though. Not very good. We haven't won one.
You say tied?
Tied, yeah. We tied. We tied Vietnam. We tied Korea. We tied Afghanistan. We haven't really won since World War II. Although we're back to
The
that.
South tied, where I mean.
I think we're winning. I think we're winning in Ukraine.
We finally smartened up, and now we're just sending weapons.
That's so true.
Was that the last news story? We're not covering the Tesla robots.
We aren't, but I mean, there was an addition to this news story, which is a little bit controversial. So controversial that Fox News actually changed the headline. So the original headline was something like, so this is where our tax money is going, hiring drag queens to teach sexual education for our children.
Right.
First of all, my children aren't going to be in the Navy.
Right? What does that have to do with robots? I'm lost. I'm so lost.
No, it was still connected to this
I see.
topic.
Okay.
About
So
the Navy
they think by
drag.
putting transgender people in the Navy that it's going to cause more transgender.
Well, no. So this is the problem. They smushed two stories together, and it's real dumb. It's the Navy using drag queens, and then drag queens reading to children. So it was they're mad
it's
at
two
both
stories merged together, and it's stupid, and it's Fox.
Yeah.
Got it.
And Fox.
Okay. I
No,
put it all together here. So a little slow today.
Here's the thing about drag queens reading to children. Everyone's like, it's indoctrination. First of all, it's not during the day. It's at night. It's like a paid event that you can go to and expose. So it's not like the school has an agenda with drag queens. They have a facility. The drag queens show up. It's funny. The kids get to listen to a book. Second of all, we're shooting children in schools. Can that be the priority? Can that be the thing we're upset about? Like, fuck everything that's not killing children.
I agree.
As long as they're not shooting them, I don't care what you're doing. Stop doing that. And then we can discuss drag queens. Until you stop that, I don't want to talk about anything else.
Right. Priorities, people. Like
priorities.
So this is a paid event. So wait, so people pay to have their kids come, and this is what's going on. It seems like that,
but in the article,
this isn't even really a story.
But if people pay to go, they're making a choice. So it's their choice.
That's my point. It's like, oh, these people went to the Dave Matthews Band concert. They buy tickets. They bought tickets.
It's not like they're doing.
And Dave's not indoctrinating you if you buy.
Right. If you don't like Dave, don't come to the show, guys.
It's not like they're locking up children and making them listen to nursery rhymes dressed as Tina Turner or anything like that. So
exactly.
The
other thing, I had something else to say, but now I can't remember. Very important.
It'll come back.
Mm-hmm. It'll come back. I got nothing.
We should talk about Melissa.
Oh, hold on.
Right.
I got it. Drag queens are great marketing. Like if some guy down the street, like a town councilor, read a book, nobody would give a shit, right? Kids aren't interested. Nobody shows up. You put a drag queen, everyone shows up. The Navy, no one talked about the Navy forever. All of a sudden they're doing drag shit. Everyone's talking about it. It's a great marketing ploy.
$1 billion idea.
Don't
Drag
you?
queen on the show.
Ooh. I think Robin should wear a dress.
I was just going to say,
There we go.
I don't know if Robin has a New York Yankees dress.
Well, he can turn that jersey inside out and then snap the pants on and put a belt around it, and he's good.
Okay,
No, we
so
All right. Well, listen, you might be able to help him. I don't know that Eric and I can help you.
no, Snowden's not in Ukraine. He's in drag, reading to children. Catch up, Jennifer.
Gee.
You're so far behind.
let me just say, it wouldn't be the first time I wore drag.
Hey, look at that.
I'm
Robin,
done
this is Robin. This is
There
a
we go.
family
Let's
show.
start talking about
This
that.
is a family show, Robin.
Is it? I should not be
Well,
on
you
there.
asked for it.
That's right. Did you
It's a
read the
LinkedIn
children, or were
family
you just
show,
doing it
guys.
recreationally? I don't know. Okay, one more thing.
I'm
before we
gonna keep you guessing. Yeah.
the Tesla robots are not very attractive. And let's face it, the only thing we're into new technology for is sex and death. These things can definitely kill us, but I am not having sex with these robots. The Boston Dynamics robots are a lot sexier. I think you guys should go take a look after this show. Like it on the
You
robot.
got it.
I find
I'm
it hard
doing
to
it.
believe, Eric, that you wouldn't try it out first before you.
I would honestly, I would probably
That's what I was.
the robot for the story, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Robin
For
wears
the
the-
reporting.
You either love it or you learn from it. So.
Thank
That's
you.
right.
That, yes. All right. Are we going to move on to Melissa? Or do we have
Oh,
Any more questions?
any more questions?
Well, I have a lot of questions
oh,
for
I gotta go
Melissa,
now.
so we should get on it.
Okay. Melissa, so do you want to, so you've won awards.
I have.
I've never won one. Can you tell us what that's like? All right, let's go. Give your whole story. What's your resume? What are you doing these days? What are you selling?
It was just
going
sales.
on?
It's your typical sales awards. President's Club, Salesperson of the Year. I just happened to do it for 13 years in a row before I left. So my LinkedIn awards section got a little lengthy, and I just stopped putting them on there. But I've been doing it for my whole life, so I should be damn good at it, right?
What do you attribute your success to?
Mm.
Sorry, am I not allowed to ask questions yet?
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
perfect. Well,
Okay.
sales is all about psychology.
That's right.
And empathy as well. So just knowing people, know how to interact with people, studying psychology, generational studies, how people buy, why they buy, the words that we use.
Mm.
I
So let
still-
me ask you another question.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, right? You sell a relatively boring product like I do, right? When I say boring, it's not like you're selling like money or cars, right?
Correct.
Right.
Right.
So so my point is a little bit harder to sell these things, right?
Right. It's a service. Right. And
Right,
everybody
exactly.
needs it though. Like technology. I mean,
So the reason I'm asking is what would you attribute someone that's selling a boring product like I sell or maybe even you? And I mean that in a nice way, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the secret to penetrating and getting in?
know why you, right? That needs to be, you have to have a differentiator. If you're selling a service that everybody has and needs,
Sure.
and you're trying to convince them to get yours, tell them why. You have to have that pitch down. Know your competitors too, so you
Sure.
can be competitive and win on the obstacles and the value instead of just what you're selling. But I'm going to be a little selfish. I contribute my success because of me.
Of course, yeah. Yeah,
I've done the work for it, and so damn right I should be good at it, right? So,
that's right.
but yeah.
So your success has afforded you 4 boats and a farm. Do you own other hilarious things? Like, do you have an alpaca or anything?
That's cool.
I
Very
own
important
2
question.
peacocks. I got 2 peacocks in the farm. Is that
Oh,
weird?
that's
Hey,
cool.
what?
You have 2 peacocks?
Has Robin ever seen a peacock?
I don't know.
Only dead one,
There is a peacock.
unfortunately.
It's the national
Only
bird of
dead
the
ones.
Philippines.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So why do you have peacocks?
I had a farm, so I don't know. They're pretty.
Usually people grow corn or soybeans, but you're growing peacocks.
We grew a little bit of vegetables. But mostly we had chickens. We had a shit ton of chickens, and and a lot of green trees in the back. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Make a.
Do you want to cover your? So
Mark.
4 boats seems like an excessive. You have a navy in many ways.
Um,
She
yeah,
has more boats in the Philippines.
but there's no transgender
That's not
members.
far from the truth, sadly.
I think I need to get some transgender captains, and I think we'll be okay. Then I can actually say I have a navy. So.
Well, Robin owns a couple dresses, so.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, yeah, that houseboat, interesting.
Is that your favorite boat, the houseboat?
No, my favorite boat is my 1960 Chris Craft Continental.
Okay. I'm assuming you spend a lot of time on the boats?
In the summer, yes. I've been spending a lot of time in the boats these days, like fixing them. And when you buy a 1968 houseboat that was owned by deadheads, you have to do some renovation.
That's right.
One of Rodney's favorite bands is.
That's right. You did.
Yeah, and she hates
Oh no.
The boat was named Ripple when
that's
I got it. Is it?
Well, what are you going to name it now? Well, for a deadhead, but what are you going to name it now? Have you renamed it?
No, not yet. That's a good question. I need to get on that.
Should name it Robin.
Peacock. Oh yeah.
So one thing I'm curious about boats, and it's like this for cars, but I'm not sure if it's the same. Is it more expensive to keep the boats than it is to buy them?
No,
I
would say no. Because boats run on hours, right? There's not miles involved, it's hours. So the depreciation value, yes, like the boats, well, depending on what boat it is as well. That's Chris Craft's like classic wooden boats. They gain value, right? The older they are and the better kept they are, they gain value because they don't make them like they used to. The new boats, you're going to sink some money into them after they get over a certain amount of hours. It's all about the engine though, because think about it, like a car, you have to get a whole brand new freaking car, right?
Yeah.
The boats are good. You just have to get a new engine, right? And
I'm assuming engines are expensive.
They're a lot less expensive than a car engine. So.
Okay.
Yep. Well, some of them are, but then sometimes it takes 4 engines to run a boat. The houseboat, for example, has 2. And I blew the damn brake cable off of it this weekend. So.
I hate when that happens.
Me too. I get seasick in the shower. So you know what I like is land houses. You ever had a land house? Holy shit, those things are great.
Is a land house on wheels?
I don't like that either. I just like get on dirt. Is that?
I used to have a friend. I have a friend, and he has a tiny house, and he literally. I mean, he's in Portland now, so Lord knows if he's still with us. But he literally bought a truck. He sold all of his stuff, bought a truck, had a tiny house made, and he would go from place to place. And there's apparently up in the northeast west, there's places where you can park it and live. And he was doing it.
The tiny house phenomenon, I never understood.
The simplicity. I think it's just simplifying your life, you know. And I think if the tiny house forces you to live minimalistically, and you save money. Think about it. It doesn't take much to heat and air that thing.
Yeah, right.
I think we're the opposite in a lot of ways. I like complication. Like I watch a lot of cooking shows and like, oh, the beauty is the simplicity. I'm like, fuck that. Make it more complicated. Like do better stuff. Why am I going to watch you do something simple? I don't want a simple house.
Don't make salmon. Make it stir fry it. Do something special. Bake it. And then make a cake.
A gas streak or a compote or like put some effort into it.
A gas streak.
Gas streak, yes.
That's right.
Does it not come across that I'm an Eastern liberal elitist? Do I have to hammer this point home any further?
I'm shocked at the price of tiny homes. Yes. Blown away actually would be a better. So I have another question.
They have tiny home like neighborhoods. Like out here at Lake Hartwell, you know, they used to have, instead of a campsite where they put fifth wheels or whatnot, they used to have just a bunch of tiny houses, and they didn't do well. So
Americans don't like tiny things. And Jenny Winnie, if you're shocked at the price of tiny homes, check out the price of a normal sized home. You were going to be
at this time.
It's even crazier.
In this day, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I have another question.
Yep.
What channels would you say that you use most for to market?
Oh, good question.
Like platform, like LinkedIn platform?
Yeah, like platforms like email, LinkedIn, whatever it may be.
Yeah. I do outreach, LinkedIn, Rev.io is a good one, by the way. I don't know. It's more.
Rev.io. Let me.
It's actually a phone system, like a cell phone system that has that it'll do things for you. So it's got AI integration. So like if you use Salesforce and you're in a conversation and you mention a word, it's going to pop up a bunch of different things on the web, and also you can do like a sequence where it sends information after the call. It's pretty interesting.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's right. But LinkedIn is easy. I now sell to construction customers, like general contractors.
Sure.
So, and I'm in the South. And the thing with that is they're not going to be on LinkedIn. They're not going to read their emails. They're just not. You have to get in front of them.
So how do you do it?
You go and visit?
I stalk them.
I'm from the South too. I'm from North Carolina.
Well, I'm from North Carolina.
I lived in North Carolina. Robin's
never heard of North Carolina.
Robin doesn't know what we're talking about. There's a South Carolina, and that's where I'm at now.
The only time I've ever heard of Carolina was from that James Taylor song.
Carolina Girl?
Yeah, James Taylor, oddly enough, from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill, to be exact.
Oddly enough, that's my father's favorite artist is James
We
Taylor.
got to get your father on the show. I need answers.
I know.
Loves James Taylor, hates America.
Hey, Robin, when you hear the word shagging, what do you think?
Sorry, say that again?
When you hear the word shagging, what do you think?
Shagging.
Mm-hmm.
Like shag.
Like what?
What do you think it means, cowboy?
Sexy.
Sex. Procreation, right?
It's a dance we made up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. No kidding.
That's right. Yes, I always go there.
I love Carolina. I love North Carolina.
All right, so you stalk these people, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm always interested in marketing. So you stalk these people, and then I guess.
So I'll go to a golf event that they're going to, or I'll go to like a ball game that they may be going to. Like I find creative ways to get in front of them. I will start.
That's clever.
And okay, for example, David Tepper of the Carolina Panthers was my target, if you will. And so I pretended that I was interested in buying their new gallery section of seats, right? It's like $300,000 for the season. Very nice, reclining, whatever. And so they gave me a whole tour, and then I got in with, the staff there. And then next thing you know, I have free tickets to the Panthers games, and they bought $2.4 million worth of services from me.
So some people use the term stalking lightly. They're like, "Oh, I looked them up on Facebook."
Researching.
You're kidnapping their children. You're
no, I'm going to be showing up on their like if they're having some like, one was doing something for leukemia, right? And so I showed up at their event and gave money and all that, and they're my customer still. So
it's almost like a go give attitude, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you start out giving value, and then.
Well, I started out with me.
You get right.
Yeah,
well, you're valuable, right? So you start out with the value, and then they see, right? And then is that kind of?
Yeah, I don't mention product or what I do when I first meet somebody that I'm researching. Is that a better word?
I like talking, but researching.
Talking is apt in this case. You're showing up to cancer events. That's interesting.
I was interested in it. It wasn't because I was just talking. I wouldn't have given money. Now you don't give money at events that you're just like researching people on. No, it was something. It was more than that, but it worked.
If you're gonna have 4 boats, you better show up to the Carolina.
you have to work hard to play hard.
That's right, Robin. 4 boats is not cheap, Robin. So understand.
I'm taking note.
Yeah, 4 boats, 3 cars,
2 peacocks.
2 peacocks. A farm.
How much is a peacock? And do you have to pay tax on it?
That's a good question.
Right? Like, gun to your head, how much do you think a peacock costs?
Yeah. They're expensive. They're actually more expensive than you think.
I would imagine.
I would guess they're probably $10,000.
Okay,
I have no idea.
They're not that expensive. They're not that expensive.
I'm in New York now, so here they're probably.
Everything is $10,000 in New York. Yeah.
You know what's fun?
Your bottle of water is like $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
We eat a lot of poultry, chicken, duck, pigeon. Why don't we eat peacock? Does anybody know?
Because they're beautiful animals.
They're pretty, right? Exactly.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Melissa, when you're done with your peacocks, can I have them?
Yes, you can have them.
nice.
Actually, so this is the second time we had to buy them because the first time they flew away. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Nobody told me that they could fly. I mean,
Birds have a habit of doing that, I think. Where's the farm?
I didn't know they could fly either, actually.
Right? I mean, yeah. Davidson County, North Carolina.
Okay.
Very nice.
Why don't we eat penguins?
Because I'm not going
Who's asking these questions?
Penguins are both a fish and they're kind of like a chicken, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be very healthy.
That's true.
These are the hard-hitting questions we ask in the Eric and Rodney show with Robin.
I heard they were
only
fatty.
ask the hard stuff.
I heard they were fatty like whales. So.
Penguins?
Yeah.
I went to a place recently, actually a few months ago, where I live in the North Fork, and they had duck wings.
Oh,
Yeah.
duck.
Or duck legs,
That's
or
good.
I think it was
I
duck.
love
Sorry, duck legs. I think
Oh.
it was duck something, and it was pretty good. Duck wings,
Wait,
maybe.
duck wings is exotic for you? Like,
Oh,
No, I'm just
man.
saying we had it, and it was. You know,
Oh,
'cause
huh?
I'm usually
I
expecting buffalo
love
wings.
duck.
okay, I need to ask this question because I feel like I'm the most Asian person here. What is the most?
Wait.
I am.
You are the most Asian.
Like, okay, wait.
You are
So
the most-
what is,
you're in Hong Kong.
what? Yeah,
hiding
what-
from the dictator.
it is my duty to know now. What do you think is the most exotic thing you've eaten? All of you. I'm very curious.
Ooh.
I would say mine is rattlesnake.
Okay, that's pretty exotic.
Yeah.
Hard to argue.
There's a Mexican place in a few towns over that does tongue taco.
Tongue.
Tongue tacos. It just tastes like bologna. It was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
And
And
Melissa?
frog legs. I'll eat anything, but like when you go to an American
Okay,
menu,
frog
it's gonna be like chicken fingers, cheeseburger. It's
Yeah, there's no goat burgers or
Right.
you know,
My answer wasn't going to be family appropriate, so I'm going to go.
now.
I'm going to go with what do they call them? Anyway, essentially, they're balls from a.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Thank you. That's what I was looking
There
for.
you go. Yeah, we
There
like
it is.
testicles in the United
But-
States. Not all of us.
I've had
Okay.
crocodile. I've had. I ate a bug once, a chocolate covered bug. That wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me it was a bug until after I ate it. But
it's like Fear Factor, right?
ew.
Remember that show? It's terrible. They're like, for $100,000, will you drink? No, get out
Yeah.
of here.
That's
I'm
before
not
Joe
climbing or
Rogan
eating
was
anything.
famous.
That's
So-
right.
So, Robin, what's your answer though? What's the most exotic?
Right. So in the Philippines, we have a traditional food, and like if you come to the Philippines, it's sort of illegal to not have this food because it's like tradition to come here, and it's
Y'all have a lot of
called
rules
balut.
over there.
They do.
Yeah, it's called balut.
I know what that is.
Okay. Maybe you're gonna be grossed out by this, but essentially it's like a duck egg, which is like 10 days away from hatching, and then it's boiled, and then
So it's a
you eat
baby.
the-
It's a baby unhatched. It's a hatchling.
yeah. So you basically eat the duck embryo.
As long as it's
I'm
not
gonna pass on
eaten,
that one.
I'm okay with it. As long as it's not eaten.
But what
Yeah.
what compels you to eat an entire duck head? Like just let it get out of the shell, grow up a little bit, and then
Yeah, then we can really go to town.
That's good.
Yeah.
Great question.
so
Do you know what a rotary phone is, Robin?
Yeah,
Does Robin
Jenny's
know what it
asking.
is?
That's those old phones that you have to like turn them to get the number. I don't know how to operate it, but I
You
have
just
seen it,
turn.
yeah.
You find the
But
number and
you
you
go
turn
till
from
your
there.
finger stops, and then you let go, and it goes back around, and you have to do it again. It takes,
And there's no call waiting.
yeah.
So,
And like
Oh.
one was like the worst because you had to go all the way around. It took forever. Yeah.
The duck egg. Do you like?
Back to the duck.
okay. Yeah. So
Is it covered
I
in
kind
feathers?
of
Like
cheat
it's starting
when I.
to have feathers, right? Are you eating the feathers as well?
No. It's just before it gets feathers.
Okay.
But like everything else is formed, like the eyes, the beak, and everything.
is
So
the meat
I-
crunchy or no?
It is. I haven't tried it. I typically only just eat the white part. I leave the duck embryo
Yeah, no.
itself, but it tastes like chicken stew
Okay.
because yeah.
You can get away without eating it because you're half white. I feel like that's an out for you.
Yeah, it's too exotic for me.
Wow.
That is
Well, we
exotic
learned
stuff.
a lot about Robin and Melissa today. Oh, we have 1 minute. Do we have any closing?
1 minute.
Hey, listen, you did great. This was a entertaining episode.
Thanks.
It really was.
I almost didn't make it. I was like running a little bit late. So
Robin didn't either, almost. He
he's
almost got
hiding.
thrown in the back of a van.
Yes.
He didn't have time to do his hair. That's for fuck's sake.
He's incognito. But thanks for having me. I appreciate this.
Hey, listen,
Absolutely.
great. So we're gonna do a nice little highlight video that we'll send over.
Okay.
It'll be an hour long because the whole show is a highlight.
Oh yeah.
All
no.
right.
That's
fellas?
right. There's no bad moments.
No. Great. All right. So I guess we should go to work now. Thank you for being on the show.
Awesome. Thank you for
Thanks,
having me.
Melissa.
Anytime.
You're
All right.
awesome.
Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Melissa.
Bye.